Joining us again for cooking with us. And today we are making a favorite in the kitchen called
Pasta Pomodori.
Now this is a special birthday dinner that we have almost every birthday, and so it is Jenny's birthday today. So we're gonna have her birthday dinner. This has been a favorite recipe of ours since I was little, and it's actually the very first recipe that I learned to cook without a recipe. So that was like 15 years ago or something like that. So we're going to teach you how to cook pasta pomodori, and it is one of the most simple meals to make, and it is the most delicious meals you'll ever have. So our ingredients consist of basil, tomatoes, garlic. I think we're going to use up the rest of our silver skin garlic before we break open that big bag of garlic. And Brie cheese and pasta.
This is the Brie cheese.
So we're going to start by giving one of these ladies the task of cutting the basil up into small pieces. In our home we encourage all of the little ones to help out in any way that they can, depending on what they have learned. So Pillar has worked a great deal on cutting work in her school lessons. So I'm going to get her to cut up the basil. So here's the frying pan, Pillar. You get to use the scissors for the basil. Would you like to cut that up into little pieces? You want to do the tomatoes?
Yeah.
Alright. So, Pillar does prefer using a knife, so we are going to let her do the tomatoes. Who would like the job of cutting the basil? Alright, Jenny is going to cut up all this basil and put it in the pan.
Tiny pieces?
Yep, tiny pieces.
I would like to cut the Brie cheese.
So I'm actually going to get a pot of water going. Okay, so we're going to dice tomatoes. If you don't know what dicing is, basically it's just cutting, cutting your tomato in slices and slicing them up to about dice-sized pieces.
Hi, Mom.
Just a minute, Phil.
I need life, Mom.
I know. So just like that, and that's about the size that you want your tomatoes in this dish. The girls are going to work on slicing these up. Before we keep going with our pasta pomodori, I just wanted to share a quick drink recipe that we came up with today. It probably has a technical name, but we just put it together without anything. So the other day, Jenny and I and Brittany made some iced tea for her birthday party today, which was lovely. And with all the extra iced tea that we had, we were also boiling lemons on the stove because we made a horrendous burnt smell in the house, which we were getting rid of by boiling lemons. And it turns out that by boiling 10 lemons or so in a big pot of water makes excellent lemonade. So we added the lemonade to the leftover iced tea, and Dan mixed it with
Moscato.
Is that right? Moscato. And so this is iced tea, lemonade, and Moscato wine. And it tastes lovely. It's just lovely. Okay, now back to cooking. So we are ready to put our sauce on the oven, on the stove. Oh, but we don't need garlic yet. That's okay, we'll start this up. So we have tomatoes and basil. So this is 6 large tomatoes. The firmer the better, because if they're too soft then they'll be far too juicy and your pasta won't hold together very well. So try to get firm tomatoes. If not, that's no big deal. We've got a pile of basil in there, and we're just going to put it on medium for now, and we'll be turning it down to simmer for a little while until the tomatoes are hot, and not really longer than that. The tomatoes just need to be hot and everything, and the garlic needs to be cooked. So we're going to chop up some garlic and add that in there right away. And then I'll share with you the next step. So, just a little toddler tidbit of information. So this is Pillar, our toddler.
Say hi, Pillar.
She would like some water right now. So here you go, buddy. And I just wanted to share a little bit of cooking information when it comes to toddler cooking. people ask me, how do you get them to do that? How do you get them to help in the kitchen? And my response is, well, they enjoy it, and because I include them in cooking with me. So they really enjoy cooking with me. So Pillar loves to help, and with Pillar especially, I let her come and go as she wants. So she'll spend 5 minutes in here helping, and then she'll go and play, and then she'll come back, and then she'll go and play. And that's a great way to encourage her to want to help. Not so much with the bigger kids because Jenny's more so expected to be in here helping. More often than not, Jenny's helping by keeping the baby entertained. And Rainey is just a fan of the kitchen. She's been a fan of the kitchen since she was a baby too. So that's how I encourage them to help. And also, they want to be in here with us because, well, not because, but we don't have a TV. This is like their TV. This is their fun time, is cooking with Mom or doing stuff with Mom or being with Mom and Dad. So yeah, that's how our family dynamics work. So a couple of steps that I had to do without the camera is we put the pasta in the pot of water. So normally we use penny noodles, but we used bow tie this time because they were on sale. And those are fun. The colored pasta is fun. So that's what we're using for our pasta today. I added a couple more tomatoes into the mix because I wasn't finding it was full enough, and we have 2 bags of pasta in there. So there's 8 tomatoes in here now. And they're pretty big tomatoes too. And this will make quite a bit. It will make 2 dinners worth of food, most likely. Now we also have our Brie cheese here. Normally, I would suggest just scraping the rind off just like this with the back of a knife, with a butter knife or the dull end of a knife, just like that along the grain. But this cheese for some reason was so melty and gooey that I just had to take the whole layer off, because what happens is when you include this white rind, it doesn't melt, and then you get just like these flaky white rindy pieces in your food, which aren't the most pleasant of taste. So if you like that, then include it. Otherwise, just scrape it off if you have a firm piece. Also, when you're buying your Brie cheese, try to go more on the squishy side than on the hard side, because pasta pomodoro is always better gooey. Oh, so good. Taste testers! We need to test our pasta, see if it's ready. Always include your kids in this step, whether they're in the room or not. You should have like a ginormous bell attached to your kitchen for taste testing.
Mom, put it in my Red!
Even little babies want to help. Good job, Whippoorwill. Are you helping? What are you getting? You got a tomato. Yeah, you got a tomato.
She's biting it.
And I'm just going to let her chomp on that. One day she's going to have a desire to be in here cutting instead of just sucking on things. So I am not going to discourage her from handling food.
She bit into it. She bit into it.
She's broken through.
Let's move.
Alright, our pasta is ready to combine with the rest of the ingredients, so here it is. I am not going to rinse this pasta as I usually do because we want our cheese to really melt, so I'm going to leave the pasta nice and hot, and I'm going to put it back in the pot, and we're going to add in our tomatoes right into there, and we are going to add our Brie cheese. Okay, our pasta and tomatoes are in the pot. We are now going to add the final ingredient, which is the Brie cheese. This is going to make it saucy. Okay, as you can see, the cheese is all over the top there. Now I'm going to give it a stir, and then we can add in more cheese. Alright? So as long as it's not all on the surface anymore, we can add some more.
I need to get some cutlery too.
Here you go, Rainey.
Oh, thanks.
I have one.
What?
I have one.